Good morning. Welcome to Satsang. When in Satsang I mention all what you see is an illusion, or it is not to induce, like the religions do, that it's devilish. It is just so that you have an occasion to see how the nature is impermanent. It's very different. So there is nothing to be afraid of the creation. Just dedicate a moment just to see that I who sees the creation is just of an impermanent nature. I may get a chai today, please. Yeah, if you want me to speak more, you tell me. So, whatever is said in Satsang, it is not to get a way of life. It is just to eventually get freed from what we think is continuously there, means the mind. Because once you see that you have not died when the mind is not there, maybe we'll get happy. Anyway. Maybe it's somehow, surely, it removes the search to know what is. You see, this old indication is not to give you another state, it is to remove your ignorance, as it is said also in the scriptures, but it's very true. So, is there any problem still? There is this is minor problems. Is there any problem which doesn't make you sleep? Is there a problem of this kind of interest? Is there a problem of unclarity? Of a hope to go beyond? Anyway, it's not up to me to suggest anything which it should not be there anyway.
There's a problem of impermanent clarity.
Impermanent. But that's the nature of clarity, it's true, because it's in the mind. So the permanency will not be in the mind. Be clear about that.
I know,
Uh-huh.
but there's about too much.
Yeah, right. So don't catch it, because it doesn't have any meaning. It is what a mind assumes to question or to trouble you. There is no value here in this subject. Yeah. Then you see. You see the but, if, why, how, they are the gates to the mind. Means if you just make a step in, you are in the movement of the mind with its full power. Look at the universe with its full power. So at some point you understand you are not obliged to always be enslaved or follow those movements of the mind. You are free to also be at rest, but it will not be in the mind. Don't ask me where is it, because it's the gate of the mind, and you will have only impermanent answers.
It's probably another thing about the mind, another little trick.
Let's see.
In the last weeks, it happened to me very strongly the question of why we do choose to come here as a human being, and it struggles me so much that physically it hurts in my heart, and I don't know if it's just a trick of the mind, but it's so strong, and it never happened to me before, because I feel like sometimes I'm such in a bliss, but at the same time, like, I feel I belong somewhere else, and I have this missing so strong, it makes me feel, what's the sense for me to be here?
To quieten down about that. To quieten down about that means realize that maybe there is a fire, you don't know the origin of it, but it's the fire from where you would like to belong to. It's the fire which calls you back to your natural home, let's say. You see? So that fire, which is seen in your mind and body, can destroy all your illusions or your concepts, let's say. And when you have experiences, even physical experiences, you know that's only the body who feels it. And actually you have seen, I'm not only a body, I'm not only a mind. So you let it appear because you have no control about that, but you let it disappear too. And you remain, you are always from where all those questions arose, from where all those questions arose and disappeared. So you have the right, the birthright to dedicate a moment just not to catch your mind which arises. Do you follow? That's enough. That's it.
Yeah, I think it's just the mind thinking and looking for more questions, but I know.
You don't need?
I know.
Maybe if you have let's say, the ultimate question for you, why should you trouble yourself to add other questions? It was before. You don't need to go back, isn't it? So, keep quiet. Where are you? Where are you?
I was trying to calm down my emotion.
Yeah. Don't calm down. Just know that what you long for, what you wish to be, you are it. You are it, and only after all these things happen, but it will always happen and dishappen and unhappen and you know all these torments. That's what I say, keep quiet before you catch your mind. A moment is enough. Then of course you cannot control the mind, but then you know it's the mind. It has a meaning in the world from where it belongs to, but here it doesn't exist.
Is it something useful about the mind? Like, is there a way we can connect to the mind in a more loving way? Or is always kind of a distracting?
If you keep quiet from where it comes from, you will see that everything is what you are also, even when there is an appearance. But you have to give a moment of real quietness. Means, but how can I say that? Like that. You see, you are not like, that's what I said in the beginning. It looks like for you, the mind is like the enemy. It's not. It is when you are still tyrannized by the mind. Once you have seen what's the nature of the mind, of all this world of appearances and disappearances, it's like that. I mean, it is not godish or devilish. It is just as it is, as it presents itself. But it's of impermanent nature. It comes afterwards. It dies before what you are. You are not two things. For example, this where you want to be, and this torment. You are not two, and that will be your fact when you definitively see. It's not with eyes, but I know other words now. That all what you thought so real is like a movie. It's of an impermanent nature. Then you quieten about the subject. Even if you don't quieten, but you know, it's what do you expect from the samsara, we say, from this apparent world? What do you expect? Good, bad, bad, good, good, bad, bad, The peace is not in the apparent world. So this question, who am I, cannot be solved in the mind. It will not be solved by an answer in the mind, by an attainment in the mind. It will be solved when you just keep quiet and you let this mind go here and there and you don't care anymore. It's not your busyness, you have no control about this creation. Yeah.
Ganga, I think the main thing for me is just the dead, to be dead, or it was because
It is or it was. It is probably. Otherwise you will not ask. Huh?
The reason I'm telling you that because I'm about the dead. So what I mean is that if I don't think of that or don't think of anything, then it's no question about that. So it's
Yeah, because you don't catch the mind which
Yes.
suggests you so many
yes,
things.
Yes, but this is I thought I would tell this because it's new for me.
Yeah, great. I'm very happy about that. So, whatever appears is a suggestion of the mind, or if you prefer, a presentation. Presentation, yeah? And any presentation is the mind. It's the word of birth, life and death. So what? I don't remember, but so. Yeah, so if you understood that, you are freed from that.
Yes, it includes also to go somewhere else, to be dead. So it's all these suggestions.
But that is a suggestion of the
Yeah,
mind.
that's the suggestion.
Where you want to go. If you go anywhere, you are in the mind. Mind is only directions. So, for once,
Yeah.
there is no direction because it's what remains when everything is directed and non-directed and whatever. That's why there is a peace. You have not to go anywhere. An appearance, a suggestion, a presentation, all that is a mind. Mind means a creation. And it exists because I is taken for real, so the object will be looking like real too. Mm.
And of course, I had another thing included with the same subject, that I felt sorry for people who are get to a point where they're dead. So, oh, poor guy, this is dead.
Mm.
So it's like,
Compassion,
yeah.
it's okay. You cannot do anything more. So you can feel lucky. As I am not yet dead, it's a bit difficult to speak of that, but we can speak of the birth eventually. Are we born? Because we always say dead, but nobody came back to tell about that. We know it that everything looks like stopping. All what we know, this mind and body stops functioning, that is called death. But that's why this question was, are you born? Are you sure that you are born? And of course, you will say, yes, I have this body, this mind, etc. But it's all what you can describe which is born. So who are you? Who are you? But I am this body and mind. Yeah, but it goes on changing. So, who are you? What is this I who always feels the same? He feels the same, surely not because he belongs to something, because those things change. Who are you? then you keep quiet, because if you give any answers, again the vicious circle starts. It's simple.
Morning, Ganga. I was about I used to be an environmental campaigner, and now I realise I can't change anything, and also I used to live with a lot of therapists, and they said, oh, you can't change other people, but you can change yourself. But now I realise you can't change yourself
Bravo!
So it's like, okay, it's quite a relief in a way.
Yeah. So much efforts for nothing, it just... Yeah.
Yeah, so...
And we love you like this, actually.
yeah. It's like, so I was listening to Ramesh, is it Ramesh?
Balsekar?
Yeah, and it's like the doer, who is the doer? So it's the difference between, somebody, well, when you do something, it's like, I'm not doing it, but I still want to do things, I still paint, I still do things, and, I might want to do something for the environment, but just not have there's no just let go of everything. Just do what you want to do.
But that's great.
And then let go. So.
But that's great. Is there any question about that?
I don't know if there's a question. Maybe if you could
Tell more.
say any more about that, or
No,
about the me perceiving myself as a doer. I can't do anything, so.
No, but you said it beautifully. But you still do. But
Yeah.
you lost the doership.
Yeah, the doership, or the outcome. Let go of the outcome.
Yeah, it's the same.
Yes.
If
yeah.
let you,
Yeah.
it is the same. Huh?
Yeah, it's a really.
If you let go the object, the subject you let go too.
Yeah.
So you just do and forget and do and forget, and life is like that. And
Yeah.
and are you still searching something?
I don't think, maybe the mind is, but I think it's kind of it's like things falling off.
Yeah, this you describe well, this creation or this mind.
Yeah.
Huh? And do you search who you are or whatever?
Well, I can't search because there's nothing to look for, so it's more of a...
Very good.
Like blinkers getting
Yeah,
thinner.
but you could eventually, since, okay, you have seen what has to be seen,
Yeah.
but you can maybe just give them just a moment not to see also.
Not to see.
Just a moment here and there. Because you see, you could see all that,
Okay.
because finally you are not the seer of all this and that. You just are.
Okay, let go of the seeing.
Not always.
Okay.
I say give a moment to
A
that,
moment.
so that it becomes so obvious that everything which appears and disappears, you have no control. It just goes on because you still have a body and a mind as a person.
Yeah.
But the non-doership leaves you where you are.
Yes.
And we cannot speak about that, that's true. But you can honor that here and there, just a split second, a moment.
Yes, yeah. Thank you. Yes.
That's all.
Thank you, Ganga.
Thank you. Thank you that you honor that.
Mm.
wants it? Yeah?
I think I have a question about I don't know actually what to say.
Let it come out, yeah?
I notice when I have during the day a moment of freedom, I would call it like this because I
Okay.
don't know what to call it.
Yeah?
I notice that there's not a problem, but also the one that the problems belong to is not necessarily there. But when everything appears again after in the life, it doesn't necessarily impact that problems of the life that belongs to to myself as someone.
I'm sorry, I don't understand anything. Okay, moments of freedom, understand. So you go back to the life. Huh? Well, you said that, no? You go back to the life, and what happens then?
I feel like everything just presents itself in exactly the same way.
Right.
And
Why should it change? There was never a problem with that, except that if you suffer, and you don't like it, but how can it change?
oh, I think my question is if there is something in the life that troubles too much for the person, if you
Okay.
need to find other help for that, because it looks to me that even though
Yeah.
I experience moments of freedom,
Okay, you can be helped, sure. You see,
it doesn't impact that.
okay, I always say, when you have a strong disease, you tried everything, in the end you go to the doctor. You want some help of those who are specialists with that thing which makes you suffer. It's the same with the mind. If there is an obsession in the mind, therapy are there, help are there, and side by side, you always come to Satsang, you do your therapy and know it's only so to remove eventually the obsession in your mind. It has nothing to do with who you really are. It is the mind. It can be helped. If it is needed, it has to be helped. Why not? There is no problem about that.
I think I see that clearly, that it's something different, but I maybe have some fear in my mind that I'm not choosing for...
Don't worry, you come to Satsang. I will oblige you to come to Satsang. It's okay. Don't worry, don't have fear. So, you'll do it? Great. Don't spend a iota of time in fear. Just do it and come to Satsang.
Can I tell one more thing? It's something very different. But last week you asked to us if there's any belief in the mind that seems somehow important or something like this. And I somehow know that it's a very stupid thing, but I always feel or believe that because I feel I cannot speak or indicate as you can do or somebody else can do, I feel, I don't know, I make it a proof to believe that I'm not yet.
No, it's
Yeah,
very known that some are silent and they are considered the wisest one. Dakshinamurti. You want I call you Dakshinamurti? He's a great example of a great rishi. And he didn't speak a word. But of course, his silence became a teaching, and there it became wrong, but it's not his fault.
Morning, Ganga. I want to have a clarification question. What
Yeah.
you said in the beginning when Satsang
Little
started.
louder, please.
I'm sorry,
Yeah, no.
clarification
Yeah.
for what you said in the beginning and maybe what
Yeah.
the conversation with this gentleman. So, impermanent world, is this being watched by an impermanent eye? And the reason I ask this because when I being kept or quiet, there's sometimes a doubt because I see the world, an impermanent world. Am I looking as an impermanent thing or not? So I don't know as what I'm looking at this impermanent world. Does it make sense, my question?
It makes sense if the impermanent eye looks at the impermanent world, then it makes sense. But who sees the impermanent eye?
Yeah, some.
Don't create another impermanent, better impermanent eye, please. There you keep quiet. And know, whenever you affirm something or doubt about something, it's the impermanent I who speaks. That's all. And as long as this body-mind of yours is alive, there will always be the impermanent I, as you call, doing this, that, whatever, thinking this, that, or simply keeping quiet because he knows, and that he can also take rest. And he's no more confused about it, his nature. That will not disappear necessarily. It's not into your hands anyway. So be quiet whatsoever. Here there is no more prior or beyond.
Hi Ganga. It seems that there is something that I have to clarify. And what I'm bringing is, as I see it, has also like to do with the life of the person.
Yeah.
But for somehow it seems relevant to ask here, so I will do it. It's, I guess, what goes around right now is the question about what is it that I have to finish in this life. Because it seems that there's something that...
Yeah, tell me, what is your essential goal? There are many goals probably.
Yeah,
What is the essential one?
it seems the essential thing for me is to really be completely freed from any ideas that will vanish, or
Okay.
I don't want to keep
Yeah, okay.
like, I don't want to keep going for something and then
Yeah.
it's, if it's anyway,
Vanishing.
yeah. And I guess in the past I was told a lot about reincarnation and
No,
stuff.
no, you forget about that. That
Okay.
was past.
Yeah,
So here you are. You want to, this life, to finish off with these circles.
yeah,
Okay. So these circles, they are just living in the mind only. When I say only, of course, it includes the universes. It's a huge mind. But it's only in this world of appearance, of birth and death, of appearing and disappearing. So why should you give any value to what this circle suggests you? It will not be there. It can suggest you only things which are born and which will die. So, from where you have this wish, from where you can see and understand what I tell you, you keep quiet, it's what you are, and you will not objectify it ever. It objectifies itself all the time by the creation. But that now, you know once for all, that's it.
so nothing outside.
There is no outside. It's in the world of the two, the inside, outside, sides. That's we call what is, that's the mind we call it. That will still appear and disappear, sure. But you want, your goal is to be freed from the tyranny of what appears and disappears, isn't it? They will still appear, they will still disappear. But the tyranny is gone once you know, oh, I am freed from that when I know who I am, in fact. Mm-hmm.
There's this extreme struggle to really hear this.
But you hear it,
I hear it.
so it's enough. You can always hear it again, but every time you hear it. You've not to work for hearing it, you hear it. doesn't matter. It happens, no? It's gone already. Have you lost yourself? You lost yourself? How can you lose yourself? Okay, it's an experience. Yeah, we can have experiences of losing, but you laugh because it's just an experience. Ah. I'm veiled, I'm not veiled, I'm lost, I'm not lost. All this is comments of the mind, huh? Experiences. Let's not be tyrannized by the so-called reality of experiences, that's all. Isn't it? Because those who think when they are free they will have no more experiences like to be lost, to be identified and all. It's just experiences. Why should one be afraid? This is a spiritual concept put in the seeker. Bad teaching means bad teaching. Forget about that. Forget about that. It's a concept. Yes.
I think I understand, because I said that there's a fear, but I think there's more already. I somehow cannot believe that if my mind is helped from this problem, that not something else will be again a problem.
Not the mind will present endlessly problems through. That's what I say. Don't be afraid. It's how things appear and disappear. The archetype of the ideal of human being is to be in paradise. That is put into question in Satsang. We will not accept the compromise of paradise. They say no artificial paradise. Artificial hell.
Morning. This is just an illustration that struck me. I was on your beach the other night.
It's on that beach. Yeah.
And we were watching the sunset
Together.
together, yes. And we were in a particular spot watching the sunset. And I suddenly questioned if I went over there to a rock and Simon stayed here, would we see the sun in the same way?
Mm-hmm.
So I went over to a rock and I realised that the sun was following me and that from that position of a rock it looked like the sun was directly in front of me.
Sure.
And from him it looked like the sun was directly in front of me.
It's quite big enough to.
But in appearance it looks small. It looks like it's straight in front of
It's
you.
very small.
Yeah.
Because you do like this and it's this much. Sure, the appearances.
Yeah, so this whole revelation of appearance was, so where is the sun? Where's the real sun? Because
that you are the scientific, but I would say it's because I arose that you could see the sun. Or not see the sun. It's not a scientific answer.
No, but it made like the whole illusion. I suddenly realised that we're all seeing it.
We see illusions all the time.
From our own
but
little...
still you see it this way.
Yeah. And how magnificent that illusion is. But like how massive it is. That hypnosis, that we all see it from that seeming identity of
Yes, my dear.
Yeah.
It's massive. It's quite a it's massive.
It's massive.
Yes, it's massive.
Yeah.
So you see that. You see that more and more.
Yeah, and it was it's just
a revelation.
Like an illumination of the illusion.
The relativity of the appearance.
Yeah. And that won't change. I will always perceive it.
Sure.
And however we perceive our...
Yeah, very nice. You make a good research, investigation.
Sure. I just felt to share that because...
sure.
Then there's nothing more to say, but it's like having it's just having that clarity, like you're saying, the understanding is everything. And
the understanding of what?
The understanding of how this appearance appears.
Is relative.
Yeah, and the impermanence of it, or the illusion that it's coming.
Okay, but the most important is to
Now I want to.
Okay, from where you see all that will make you quiet definitively.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's good. Very good. Yet it's always I who sees that, isn't it? I saw before that it thought it was real, and then now I see it's very relative. It's, I don't know, you call that massive.
Illusion.
Massive what? Illusion.
Yeah.
So I You have a question about I or? He's a good company. There is no eternal opinions and laws as we think and all that in this world. So, all is relative. That's why it goes on changing according to the period of time, the life, and all that of each one. But you see, you cannot see this impermanency of thing as a fact if you still speak in the world of impermanency. It will always be maybe some insights, but then you go back to what you believe and all that. If you want real peace, you have to see that there is no escape. Everything in what you live, everything you see and experience and think of is impermanency itself. Yeah. Then you finally can keep quiet, because what to do? You cannot do anything. But in a beautiful way. Swallowed by I don't know what. That's why intellectually you call it swallowed by what you are. But what does it mean? Better to keep quiet then. This is, for example, an illusory bird. But you heard it. You heard it. We have some illusory 15 minutes.
The other one.
after all this time, I see that I still did not give up fighting the mind.
What is your enemy?
What
Is your enemy? What shape it has? Not in detail, but what shape it has?
It's well the obsessive side of the mind is my enemy.
But you see it.
I see it, yes. Yet I
You see it. No, the obsession, it's because it's attached to different objects, causes.
yes.
Yeah. But now we forget about that. You see the obsession. You see the mind.
Yeah.
Keep quiet from what you see. An obsession stays when you fix it, when you illusorily think you fix it. You know, free or not, the mind can be obsessive. You are obsessed with things of the world, or you are obsessed by the search, or you are obsessed by the subject which is impossible to catch. We all have an obsession. So, don't look at the object of your obsession, just see that's the mind. You see, when you are identified with something, since you come to satsang and all that, at some point you will wake up. You will wake up and say, oh, I'm obsessed, for example. Okay? So, oh shit, I'm sorry. I don't know what I wanted to say. Forget it. It was good. Yeah, it's exactly that. Then, once you see, oh, I have this obsession. You give up. And if you don't give up, then you have to, it's because you have not yet seen as a real fact that everything is impermanency, is the mind. If you have seen it radically, you just give up at once. Doesn't matter if you spend 10 years, 10 hours. The essential moment is, I see it. Something happened? Something happened? So, what is essential? To solve the impermanency? Or to be freed from it? No. You see, in the movies there is only happenings. Sometimes here and there is a sight of a yogi meditating and all is a symbol of. Symbol of in the movie. But now, when you are freed from, let's say, the search because you saw whatever, you cut off, you remove the electricity which makes the movie able to be seen. You unplug. No, you were never plugged, that's sure. But it's just a way to say the important moment is the eternal moment. It's not in the movie. So who cares? In time, I mean to say time, you cannot expect moksha, the liberation in the movie, in time. Some actors, they play that in the movie. They will still die when the movie ends. Like satsang, a satsang. I will die. What is pointed out? That's different. So there is, it's absolutely not in the movie. When my master died, when I heard the news, I said the master never dies. The master never dies. I was meaning, form or no form, it's not about that. I had to remind them from Brussels to Lucknow, master never dies. I had to remind them. What is this? So, if you trust any shape, if you trust anything which appears, it will die. So the trust cannot be there. If you want to be in peace, keep quiet. Don't trust anything which is seen, which is graspable, which is experienced, which is known, which is felt, which is sensed. Still, let us have a good wish. Let there be peace. And love to all beings.